And you know what else, by the way, is not working for Republicans? Having Rick Scott, senator from my state down here in Florida, running the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Now, the National Republican Senatorial Committee, the NRSC, is also the fundraising arm of the Senate Republicans. And they got a problem right now. The problem is they all want to know where the heck the money is gone, because they have raised $173 million this cycle. It's a lot of money. And they got a lot of contentious races out there that they need to be spending this money on. There's just one problem. It's almost all gone. Rick Scott apparently bad with money still. And I'll expand on that still in just a moment. But the Republican Party in the Senate now only has $28 million cash on hand. Like, the situation is so bad that last week, again, right as we're heading into general election mode, they announced they were withdrawing $10 million worth of ads in crucial swing states, like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. 2 seats Republicans desperately need to hold on to, but right now, polls are not looking so good for them. And they had to pull out their ad buys because they only have 28 million. They're not going to go blow another 10 million, a third almost of what they've got left on 2 races. So the big question these Republicans want to know right now is, Rick Scott, where is the money? What the heck have you done with 50 some odd almost $1 million? Where is it, bud? So far, no answers. But I think it's important to point out the fact, once again, and I'm sure most everybody knows that, but it seems a little relevant here, right? Rick Scott, before he got into politics, was a businessman. He was a businessman that started a healthcare company. A healthcare company that later on down the road would commit the largest to date Medicare fraud in the history of the United States. Over $1 billion. And the fraud was apparently so bad that Rick Scott, in his deposition, had to plead the Fifth Amendment, I think something of 75 times? I know that's not as much as Trump, having to plead it 440 times in front of Letitia James a couple weeks ago. But 75 times pleading the Fifth so you don't incriminate yourself into that massive Medicare fraud, that's a lot. And so somewhere along the lines, somewhere down the road, once Rick Scott got into politics, governor of Florida for 8 years, now he's in the Senate, Republicans looked at him and said, hey, remember that time this guy's company oversaw the biggest Medicare fraud in history? Right? Clearly they can't be trusted with money at all. What if we put him in charge of all of our money? And then wouldn't you know it, all their money disappeared. Now, before anybody jumps to any conclusions, please understand, I am not in any way suggesting that Rick Scott stole this money. Put that thought out of your head right now. Right? That's probably the safe thing to do. We shouldn't jump to any conclusions. And by the way, we're not. If Rick Scott had taken, $140 million from the Republicans, 145, I think is the exact number, they'd know. Right? There are receipts for these kinds of things. Rick Scott could not have taken the money, but he is bad with money. Okay, that's something we can all pretty much agree on at this point. So why in the heck Republicans decided to put this guy in charge of the money still blows my mind. What, because he's independently wealthy? He's got a net worth of hundreds of millions of dollars? What, do you think he was going to fill up your campaign coffers with his own bank account? Heck no. Oh, because he knows a lot of rich people? You all know a lot of rich people. You didn't need him to be in this position. And now you've put yourself in the position of having a guy that already shouldn't have been trusted with money. I mean, pleading the Fifth 75 times, that's 75 major red flags right there. But you still looked at him and you said, you know what? Let's give him the purse strings. Let's let him be the standard bearer for the Republican Party and just spend our money, do whatever. We've raised a lot of it, and now, in the final stretch of these midterm races, Republicans are looking and saying, oh God, we're out of money. We got to take a quick break. I am Farron Cousins. If you want more from me, you can find me on YouTube on my 2 channels, youtube.com/TheRingOfFire and youtube.com/FarronBalanced. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at FarronBalanced. This is the David Pakman Show. I'm Farron Cousins in for David Pakman, and we'll be right back.
Something in your home that you use every day contributes to deforestation and climate change, and that's toilet paper. In the U.S. alone, over 30 million trees each year are required to meet toilet paper demands, contributing to deforestation, soil erosion, devastating loss of biodiversity. Our sponsor, Real Paper, makes sustainable toilet paper that is 100% made from bamboo. A bamboo stock keeps growing. It can be harvested forever. It means that the soil and the ecosystem aren't disrupted. No carbon removing trees are cut down. The paper industry has a massive effect on deforestation and climate change, but you alone using bamboo toilet paper can make a positive impact, because for the toilet paper that just one American uses in their lifetime, hundreds of trees are required. Put an end to that right now with Real Paper. The best part is the stuff is really great. It's just normal soft toilet paper. Real Paper loves the David Pakman Show. They're giving my audience 30% off your first order and free shipping when you go to realpaper.com/Pakman and use the code Pakman at checkout. The link is down below.